This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From aesthetically pleasing websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is my favorite all-in-one platform for building an online brand and business presence. I've been using Squarespace for over a year now for my website because not only do they have the most easy to use design functions and aesthetically pleasing layouts, they also have a lot of product features that are really great for businesses like mine. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a product or service that you're looking to sell, then I think Squarespace could have what you're looking for. If you sell products, Squarespace e-commerce makes it easy for you to organize and manage inventory and give shoppers the best browsing experience with embedded images and videos. All Squarespace online stores are also designed to maximize the visibility of your brand and help shoppers find your products via their advanced SEO tools. Not to mention, their award-winning customer support is available 24/7 via email or live chat if you ever come across any issues. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to my link squarespace.com/ediyasmr to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace. You've been a lifesaver. And now let's get into the video. Hi there, and welcome to another timeless pick a card tarot reading. Today we're going to have 3 groups, as usual, for you to choose from. And if you're watching this at the time of upload, you might notice some Libra related themes since we're in that season, so you can most definitely use this for your October predictions. But for the most part, keep in mind that the essence of these readings are timeless, and what matters more is when this video shows up in your reality. Take that as a sign that the messages in this video are now relevant to your current situation. And always listen to your intuition, listen for resonance, take what resonates and leave the messages that don't. Today we have a couple of decks that we're going to use. I just got the Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck, so I'm really excited to be using this in today's readings. And we're also going to be using my trusty old Golden Universal Tarot deck. I know a lot of you guys like this deck. And we will also be using my also new Moonology Oracle deck. This one has been really fun to integrate into our readings. And we will close off all the readings today with the Fortunate Poetry book that my friend Kim Rashidi created. And if you want your copy to this, the link is below. Alright, now let's get into a quick meditation to get centered and grounded so that you can follow your intuition and pick the right reading for you today. I have my singing bowl here, and we're going to ring this 3 times. Please take this time to take deep breaths and really relax the body. Get embodied, arrive in this moment. Soften the entire body and tune in to your heart center. Relax your gaze. Relax the eyebrows and the forehead. Relax your jaw. Lower your shoulders and let go. Sink into your seat and allow gravity to ground you naturally. Arrive in your body, because it's from here that we listen for resonance. Listen with the body, through the body. Tune into your heart center to connect to your intuition. And now you can open your eyes if they were closed and look at the 3 groups before you. For group 1, we have Amethyst, and we have the Threshold as an inspiring image. If you feel connected to the colors, the imagery here, as well as the amethyst crystal, or one or the other, and this can be the group for you. For group 2, we have Black Obsidian and the Sustainer as an inspiring image. There's a lot of blue and purple. If you feel connected to this image or the crystal or both, this could be the group for you. For group 3, we have Clear Quartz and the Temple as an inspiring image. There's a lot of green, yellow, and the prayer mudra. If you feel connected to either the image or the crystal or both, this could be the group for you. So which group do you feel drawn to? Which group is pulling you, calling you? And you don't have to think too hard. Soften your gaze, and you will notice. So if you've chosen your group, you can go down to the timestamps below, and I'll see you in your reading. If you chose Amethyst or the Threshold, then this is your reading, group 1. So we will get started by pulling some tarot cards for your current energies and what you are working with. What is the situation that you want clarity and advice on? What are your current energies? Group 1, Amethyst, the Threshold. Current energies, group 1. Okay. So we have the 8 of Cups. We have the Emperor, the Empress, and the Wheel. So we'll start with the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is the card of letting go, of pilgrimage, of leaving behind something. So I think this is perhaps the main theme here in your situation, is that you feel called to walk away from something that once you had a lot of attachment to. And so there may be some difficulty because it's never easy letting go of our attachments as much as we know it's the right thing to do. So perhaps this was something that brought a lot of joy to you in the past, but now you are realizing that it's no longer bringing the same level of fulfillment for you. You know that there must be more. So you're embarking on a pilgrimage in search for more, in search for the ninth cup. In order to do that, you have to leave behind all the cups that you used to enjoy. These cups represent emotions, right? So you're letting go of emotional attachment in order to create space for something new. That's hard, but a part of you recognizes that this is necessary in order for you to expand and grow as a human being. You're in search for something new that will bring more fulfillment. In order for that to happen, you have to let go of something, let go of a person, let go of a dynamic, let go of a belief, a part of you, a habit, a way of being, and it can be all of the above. You also have the Empress, and earlier I said the Emperor by accident, so maybe that was supposed to come out for some of you. The Empress is the divine feminine archetype, the mother archetype. And so when we get this card, we are essentially working with a lot of feminine themes. Let's, see where that takes us. I also notice a connection between the Empress and the Wheel. The Wheel is about surrendering to divine timing, recognizing that there are ups and downs to our human experience. You can't really avoid one or the other. Sometimes the wheel turns in your favor, sometimes it turns against your favor, and that's just part of the human experience. It's part of duality. And so the wheel asks you to surrender to that. You can't really change that. That is just, the fact, the law and principle of this reality. So what you can do is to find your center, to not be so affected by these volatile ups and downs that are unpredictable and often unexpected. So find your center and surrender to your center. Similarly, the Empress can also talk about that in the sense that the Empress can represent the womb, this archetype of the holding space that nurtures and gestates. And so, if you think about a baby, that's my favorite example for this. The baby in the womb must gestate for 9 months. You can't rush that process. It's a divine process, and there is divine timing. The mother cannot ask for the baby to come out prematurely. Neither would the mother want to do that. The mother respects the divine timing for this very divine creative process. So there's something about divine timing here as well. All right, so that's your current energies. Now I want to ask the cards about advice. What do you need to hear right now? And I'm going to first ask your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know? What do the higher dimensions want you to know? I'm going to also ask your shadow for advice. What does your shadow want you to know? What does your subconscious want you to know? Okay. So from your higher self, you have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is the card of limiting beliefs. So your higher self wants you to know that you might be holding yourself back right now through your perception of reality. This card is the card of limiting beliefs because if you look at the woman here, she's tied to a tree, but she's tied very loosely. She could easily wiggle her way out of this bondage. She's blindfolded also, and there are swords all around her. But notice how there is a path, however. The barrier really isn't a barrier at all. So, in a sense, she believes she's limited when she isn't. And a belief is not the same as the truth. A belief can never really hold up when compared to the truth. So this card wants you to unveil the truth. Let go of your limitations, these beliefs that you're choosing to limit yourself by. These beliefs don't actually exist. They are illusions of the mind. If you can step out of the mind, maybe get more embodied, you'll be able to experience the truth rather than being limited by your perception and interpretation of reality. So in Tantra Yoga, there is, or the way it's taught by a teacher that I follow, Harish Wallace, he says that there is a first order of reality and a second order of reality. And the first order of reality is how we directly experience reality. That is the truth. The second order of reality is when we start interpreting our experience with the mind. So create a distance between these two orders of reality. Recognize that your direct experience holds the truth. Your interpretation and perception of reality is just that, an interpretation. Thing of the mind. It's just a thought. It's not the same as the truth of reality, which you can only get to from experience. So that's the message from your higher self. And we also have a reverse Three of Swords from your shadow, from the unconscious part of you. And the Three of Swords in reverse suggests that you may be repressing some really painful emotions right now, and those emotions demand to be seen and heard. This is your shadow asking you to connect with it, to feel this pain so that you can let it go. And perhaps the limiting belief comes from a sort of pain that you haven't been able to heal yet. So if you can let go of the pain, you might notice a shift in your perception. And this kind of pain is often the pain of heartache, of betrayal, of being hurt by somebody and their actions in a relationship, feeling let down. So I would encourage you to review some recent relationship dynamics that may have triggered a certain wound in you, and go back to the root of it. This could be related to the Empress that showed up earlier. So maybe it can be traced all the way back to an experience you had with a mother figure. It doesn't have to be your biological mother or the mother who raised you, but simply somebody who represented this mother archetype for you. It could be also just a feminine figure. This could be you struggling to make peace with your femininity as well. So there's some sort of pain to let go of, and that could be distorting your perception of reality right now and limiting you in some ways. Now, I want to pull one more card for clarity. So what else do we need to know in terms of advice with the Eight of Swords and the reverse Three of Swords and the Empress card? Okay, so you have the Moon. And again, this points to illusions, limited perception, not being able to see the truth. So the Moon, it comes before the sun, just like how before the sun rises, we experience a lot of darkness in the night. In the night, a lot of fears can arise. A lot of delusions can come up. We can be afraid of the dark or see things incorrectly. You can see a rope on the road, but because of the darkness, you might mistaken it as a snake. And feel all sorts of fears creep up. And so the Moon is about that. Not seeing clearly, and therefore needing to embrace the unknown until the sun rises again. So recognize that your perception is limited. You don't know all sides of the story, therefore you can't make rushed judgments. Sit in the unknowing. Sit with the discomfort and the fears that arise and recognize them as just that. They are fears. They might not hold up to the truth of reality when that is revealed to you. Trust in divine timing. Divine timing will reveal everything to you when you're ready to hear it and see it. Okay, that was a really strong message. Now, let's go into outcomes. Potential outcome. Potential outcome for group 1 if they follow Tarot's advice. Potential outcome for group 1. So you have the Seven of Pentacles along with the Knight of Wands, which is a really interesting juxtaposition. And then you have the Star. So I'll start with these two. The Seven of Pentacles is about waiting, contemplation, review, evaluation. And so when this card comes up, it is about looking at your reality objectively and learning from it, taking your time with it, not rushing the process, but really slowing down so that your crops can fully grow to the point of being ready to harvest. So there's this energy of waiting and slowing down, being patient. Then all of a sudden, you have the Knight of Wands, which can be, rushing, feeling drive and passion, feeling an intense sense of inspiration and motivation to just take action. It's creative impulse, feeling pulled by the universe to act, to do something. So as you can see, these two cards are night and day. And so what I'm getting is eventually you'll get to a point of feeling the creative impulse to take action. For the most part, you're going to be in this energy of evaluation, of constantly reassessing your situation and being really present and objective with your situation. And that will allow you to have the clarity to notice creative impulses when they arise. And when they do arise, you're going to simply take action without any thoughts limiting you or creating doubt in you. You're simply going to follow the divine guidance, the synchronicities, to just do what you're supposed to do in that moment to align to the greater whole, the, universal intelligence, the universal network. So I think that's why the star is here. The star card is about synchronicity. It's about restoring faith and trust. It's about reestablishing connection with the universe, the universal intelligence, and feeling like you've synchronized with divine timing to the point where you are, seeing angel numbers, if that's a thing for you, seeing symbols all around you, messages coming through people, through the radio, through, simple intuition and thought forms. This is feeling connection, feeling your sacredness and the divine purpose in every moment of the day, every action you are taking, every thought you have, and being able to then follow synchronicities.
So, I think that's
to
why
where
the
you're
star
meant
has
to go.
come up.
I really like that message. That's beautiful. And now, let's pick a card from the Wild Unknown Archetype Oracle deck. So we have the Threshold here, but I want to pick another one for you and read from the guidebook for additional guidance or clarity that you might need to hear right now. And the card to come up for you is Gnosis. So I'm just going to use the guidebook and read the guidebook's message for you. Gnosis, innermost knowing, mystic truths. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling. Not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip toward mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of Gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Those who say they know, don't. Those who say they don't know, know. This card relates to the riddle and the shapeshifter. All concern themselves with revealing mystic truths. So it's better to know that you don't know than to think you know. And like I said earlier, I feel this is so aligned with everything that we've addressed up until now. So like I said earlier with the Moon card and the Eight of Swords, our perception of reality is not the same as the truth of reality. The truth of reality comes through direct experience. That's the first order of reality. Our perception of reality is an interpretation, and it's limited in that sense. It's a belief, it's a thought. And there is truth to it, but it's not the ultimate truth. It is a more condensed and limited version of it. So if you're really looking for the truth, if you want all sides of the story, if you don't want to make assumptions, if you want absolute clarity and connection to the divine, to universal intelligence, then you really have to embrace felt experience. You really have to take in everything through your senses, be embodied, and honor that. Honor the feminine through embodiment, through emotion, through the senses, through energy, movement. So, yeah, perhaps, the feminine as an archetype is so vast, and now I'm thinking perhaps it has come up for you to recognize embodiment, energy, the tangible reality. In yoga, they call this prakriti, maya. So the physical reality, the material forms that are made up of energy and matter, which we associate with Shakti, with the feminine Prakriti. So maybe that is what the Empress has been trying to, help us unpack this entire time. But of course, if my earlier interpretations for this card resonated with you, there's probably something there also for you. Okay, one more thing for you. Let's find a poem in the Fortunate Poetry book. You have the Fool. You're at the start line, but sit back and breathe. With the ease of ignorance, you slip into something new. Challenges and rewards will be there too. After all, this is a journey you're taking on. What sparks your curiosity fuels your humanity. Let that interest take you away. The rest will seem like play. So embody the Fool. It is better to know that you don't know than to think that you know. So embrace your limited perception, your ignorance, and let your curiosity fuel your humanity and help you discover the truth through experience. I hope you enjoyed your reading and that you found it helpful. Thank you so much for being here, Group 1. And I will see you very soon. Bye. Take care. If you chose Black Obsidian, the Sustainer, then this is your reading, Group 2. Alright, so we'll start with Tarot, and I'll pick some cards for your current energies. What is the situation that you are currently focused on? What are you working on right now? Current energies for Group 2, the Sustainer, Black Obsidian. Okay. Alright, so we have the Nine of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Magician. Nice. So with the Nine of Swords, you're currently really struggling with overthinking. Might be a lot of thoughts on your mind these days, thoughts that you just can't seem to let go of, stories ruminating over and over again in your mind. That sort of leaves you with this feeling of, being up at 4 a.m., not being able to fall asleep because of just the sheer amount of thoughts that you're overwhelmed by. So this is a card of overwhelm, of too much thought energy, of too much of the air element. There's too much up here at the mind level. And you have the Four of Pentacles. And since we're asking about your current energies and, an issue, quote unquote, that you are working through right now, the Four of Pentacles suggests that the overwhelm you're experiencing at the mind level could be a result of attachment to a certain way of being, to a certain pattern, a certain dynamic, certain people that you don't want to let go of, certain habits or beliefs. So there's something you're holding on to. This could be creating a lot of mental overwhelm. You also have the Magician. And this is interesting. So you're working with the energy of manifestation. The Magician is somebody who knows that he has all of the elements to work with in order to create the life he desires. He recognizes that ultimately he is in control because he is a co-creator. As long as he harnesses the power of the elements, he can get what he wants. He can live a life which he desires. So I'm going to pull one more card for clarity to better understand your situation. Clarity for group 2, current energies, clarity. So this could be about a relationship dynamic where you're wanting to be seen and heard and understood by the other. This could be a romantic relationship or somebody that you are interested in, that you maybe a potential suitor. This could of course also be your relationship with another part of you that you want to reconcile and integrate. So there are some attachments and overwhelm that are preventing you from really establishing true connection, either with this person outside of you or this part inside of you. And there's also a recognition that you create your reality, so you have to be assertive and, consciously manifest a true connection if that's what you want. So this could be something that's been on your mind a lot, and maybe you're psyching yourself out with all the thoughts. Now I'm going to pull a card for advice from your higher self. What does your higher self want you to know, group 2? What does your higher self need you to know about your situation? What advice? And what does your shadow want you to know? What does your shadow want you to know? The unconscious part of you. Alright, so your higher self wants you to know that there is an offer here. An offer from the universe. A new energetic frequency to exist on. A new wavelength to embark on. So there is a portal for you to walk through to realize this new opportunity and experience. It is being offered to you, and as advice, I'm hearing you don't fully realize to the extent of what is being offered. A part of you might actually be turning a blind eye to this, not really seeing it in, its potential. So it's kind of like the card that comes to mind is the Four of Cups. It's a Four of Cups energy where you're dissatisfied with where you are, but you're also not choosing to see what you can do to get to where you want to be. So know that there is a cup or a pentacle being offered to you, a new wavelength to experience, an opportunity of some sort, whether that is, true connection or anything else that you really want to manifest that you desire. Something is being offered. This opportunity is there. You just have to have the eyes to see it, which right now, because of all the thoughts that are in your mind and some sort of attachment that you are clinging onto, you can't see it. So that's what your higher self wants to tell you. And your shadow wants you to know through the Nine of Cups in reverse that there is a shadow side to manifestation work or light work. There's a shadow side to focusing only on the positive in order to manifest. I want you to consider this analogy. You're in a boat on a lake and you're rowing towards where you want to go, towards your desires. And on the very same boat, your shadow is right behind you, rowing in the opposite direction. And so what that feels like is inner resistance. You so want to move forward and get to where you want to go, but there's a part of you resisting in equal effort, preventing you from getting there because there is something you're clinging on to unconsciously, some attachment that is holding so much space that it prevents you from welcoming in the new. And so I think that's what we got earlier with the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. You know that is taking up space because mentally you're overwhelmed by thoughts of what has been, thoughts of the old. If it's thoughts of the future, it's anxiety about the future as a prediction, which can only come from the past, right? We predict the future according to what we've experienced. So even if your thoughts are about the future, it is in reference to the past. The new is something that you cannot fathom. You've never experienced the new, so how can you predict how you will get there? So let go of this unconscious clinging to the past. Create space for the new. Create space in your mind for new thoughts, for new ways of perceiving, so you can see this opportunity that is very much in your field of awareness. All right, now for outcome. What is a potential outcome for Group 2, the Sustainer, if they were to follow Tarot's advice? Group 2 outcome. Okay, you have the Eight of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. This is great. So with the Eight of Wands, what I'm seeing is a lot of momentum being built. So you're going to experience momentum in the right direction, momentum building for your manifestations to come into being. A lot of actionable steps being taken in the right direction, a lot of alignment. I'm seeing how the wands here are very parallel and they're all going in one direction. So that the alignment is there. Thoughts and actions, emotions all being directed in the right place, all parallel to each other, supporting each other. So momentum is going to be built. A sort of alignment is going to be established between your thoughts, emotions, and actions. And then you'll be able to have deeper trust in the process. The Page of Cups is a young boy who is learning to be with his emotions, learning to put his heart on his sleeve, and to experience love and all of these sometimes overwhelming and intense, but equally beautiful emotions. He's recognizing that he doesn't know a lot. He's new to all of this, and he's very naive and innocent. But at the same time, he knows that if he can trust in the process, trust in his ability to feel, he will end up in the right place. He will be protected. So this card points to a greater amount of trust that you will have in your journey towards true connection, towards true manifestation. Recognize that you might make some mistakes and you will have to risk getting hurt, but all of that is necessary if you want to experience more, if you want to grow, if you want, more love to come into your life. So be the Page of Cups. You will find that it'll be easier for you to embody the Page of Cups very soon. And the Two of Pentacles, to me, is a progression from the Ace of Pentacles. So you're going to go from 1 pentacle to 2 pentacles. So that's really nice. That again is momentum being built, having more to work with in terms of having, people in your immediate surroundings, having opportunities and objects and whatnot to work with in your surroundings to naturally get to where you want to go. So I see things aligning for you. I see deeper trust being established, confidence being established. And now I want to pick a card from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, and I'm going to read from. So what I was going to say is after we pick the card, I will be reading from the Archetypes guidebook, and a card flew out for you. This is the Threshold, which you might recognize from earlier. This was the inspiring imagery for Group 1. So that's interesting. And now I will read from the Archetypes guidebook. Okay. The threshold, the door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continually, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. However, you have arrived at a threshold of initiation here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metaphorical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step toward the future that calls you. So I feel like that really aligns with everything we've talked about so far. This attachment is an attachment to the old version of you that is creating all of these thoughts that are taking up space, preventing the new from coming in. And you're curling at this threshold where A new frontier calls, a portal, a new way of being calls, and you must jump off. You must let go and fall into this wavelength, this new way of being. There is trust that's needed, trust for that leap of faith. So it's really interesting. And now I'm going to pull a card from the Moonology deck for group 2. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. And that's your reading, group 2. I hope that you found it helpful and that you enjoyed it. Let me know how it went in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And I will see you very soon. Sending love, healing, and light. Talk to you soon. If you chose group 3, clear quartz, the temple, then this is your reading. Okay, group 3, so we will start with your current energies. What are your current energies, group 3? Clear quartz, the temple. What situation are you focused on? What situation are you working on and processing? What are the energies of this situation? What are your current energies? Okay. You have the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups. Let's begin with the 5 of Pentacles, as I think this is our overarching theme. The 5 of Pentacles is the card of poverty and scarcity, feeling not enough, not good enough, like you don't have enough. As you can see in this image, which I always like to point out, we have 2 beggars, and they are outside a church. The stained glass window has 5 pentacles, which represent wealth, abundance, money, which is exactly what they need. The door is there. The door is available to them if they want to seek asylum and receive what it is that they need. But they choose to not see it. They choose to be in the winter cold, to suffer. And this energy is in all of us, where we may have learned incorrectly as children that certain aspects of us are unacceptable, not good enough, not worthy. And we spend the rest of our lives trying to reconcile that by proving ourselves, by going out of our way to be successful in the eyes of others. And this proving energy really lies in scarcity, doesn't it? Because it was born out of unworthiness, born out of not feeling deserving, when in truth we are inherently deserving. And that is what this card is trying to tell you, that although they may identify as beggars and choose to be out here in the cold, the truth is they are inherently deserving, and their abundance is so near. Their, the sense of safety and belonging that they're seeking is so near. They are worthy. They are enough. So this could be an energy that you're currently working with, a profound feeling of undeservingness, of not being good enough for certain people or situations, places, and things, for feeling the need to prove yourself, to go out of your way to achieve success in the eyes of others. And yeah, I'll leave it there and let's explore that further later on. You also have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is a very slow moving energy. Out of all the knights, his horse is completely at a standstill. So that tells us that he is very grounded. The horse isn't moving. This is the kind of knight to be very meticulous with his actions. All knights, in essence, represent action, and his actions come very slowly. He is meticulous, he's very thorough and calculated, and he takes one step at a time. And there's a lot of wisdom to this. This is often really good card to get as advice. But what I'm picking up on here as your current energy is maybe you're feeling kind of impatient with the slow moving process. Maybe a part of you is wanting a easy win, to just kind of feel like, oh, I did something. Maybe a part of you is getting tired of how slow things are taking. And we also have the Six of Cups, and I feel like this is in relations to the Five of Pentacles. Like I said earlier, our sense of undeservingness, unworthiness, and not feeling good enough or acceptable often stems from childhood. It's an inner child wound, which we must heal if we want to individuate and realize ourselves, self-actualize. So the Six of Cups is pointing to your past, primarily your childhood, and experiences that may have shaped you into who you are today, experiences that may have left you with limiting beliefs that you are still unconsciously identifying with even today. So that's your current energies. Now, let's ask for advice. First, we will ask your higher self for advice. What does your higher self want you to know? And then let's pull a card and ask your shadow for advice, the unconscious parts of you. Really nice. Okay, so from your higher self, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents traditions, societal order, the general cultural view and perspective, and institutions that we abide by and follow. This represents the beaten path, the path that has proven to work for many, which is why we desire to follow it. And so this represents what is societally acceptable. And what I'm getting here is, as children, we learned this from our caregivers. They had the right intentions to teach us what is societally acceptable so that we can find belonging in our communities, in our families, and in the greater collective. So it's right to learn this. However, as children, we internalized it to mean that certain aspects of us are wrong and must be, pushed away and hidden. And it is time for you to now bring up that part of you, which we collectively call the shadow. Bring up your shadow and re-embrace this part of you to realize that you're not inherently wrong. No part of you is unacceptable. All parts of you carry wisdom and truth. All parts of you have a place in society. It just depends on revealing them at the right time and the right place. So bring up your shadow, embrace your shadow, integrate these parts of you that you previously thought was wrong and bad and unacceptable. Those parts of you carry wisdom and truth and make you whole. And I think that's why we have the Six of Wands from your shadow as advice. Your shadow's like, yes, see me, hear me, validate me. This is where your success lies. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. As you can see here, this man is coming back from battle victorious, and his entire community is celebrating him. So let this be your shadow. Come back into consciousness. Bring this part of you back into your field of awareness and celebrate this part of you. Embrace it, integrate it, and recognize that this part has been serving you all along. It deserves to be seen and heard and validated. This part of you is the missing piece that you need in order to come out of a sense of lack and scarcity, a sense of poverty. This part of you is going to help you see your worthiness, the 5 pentacles that are so close. This part of you is going to reveal your abundance to you that is so close, that you are inherently deserving of. That's really powerful, amazing. And by the way, if you want to learn more about shadow work, I talk a lot about it on my Instagram, so join me over there. And I also have a course on shadow work called the Real Work Mentorship, because I truly believe shadow work to be the real work is the prerequisite to everything else on the spiritual path, to everything else within manifestation work. So if you're interested in that, the link is below for you to learn more. Okay, and now let's pull some cards for outcome. What is the potential outcome if you were to follow Tarot's advice, or more so, your higher self and your shadow's advice? Outcome for the Temple, Group 3. Okay, you have the Three of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, a lot of threes, and the Sun. How lovely is that? Let's start with the Sun, because this is a really powerful card, and some would say this is the most positive card that you can get out of the deck. This is a huge confirmation card, along with the Six of Wands, and you have both. So recognize that luck is on your side. The universe is protecting you and supporting you every step along the way. I love that for you. And I want to point out the little child here. So inner child healing is a big theme. It's the main theme that we're addressing in this reading. And look at the child here. This is what we want to return to, the innocence and purity that we had before socialization kind of tainted that for us. So we are returning to innocence, purity, complete trust in a higher power, complete trust in the sun and our abundance and prosperity. The red here represents our vitality. The white horse here represents our innocence and purity. So this is what you are returning to. This is what you are uncovering when you work with the shadow. You also have the Three of Wands. And this tells me that you're going to be in a really receptive energy very soon to welcome new things into your life, to see opportunities and take them on. We need to be receptive in order for the need to come in. And so just like this man, you're going to be looking out onto the horizon soon for your ships to sail in. And when you see those ships, you're going to meet them halfway and embark on a new journey. So embrace this receptive energy once you get into it and start looking for your opportunities. And you have the Three of Pentacles also, another 3. 3 is the number of manifestation, so keep that in mind. Three of Pentacles is about teamwork, collaboration. I really like this for you because it tells me you'll be putting yourself out there, engaging with your surroundings to live a purposeful existence rather than isolating yourself or shutting yourself out, which sometimes is what the Five of Pentacles can suggest. So you'll be putting yourself out there, learning from others, collaborating, engaging in team activities. So that's really nice. And now I'm going to pull a card from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And I will also be reading from the guidebook. So group 3. You have the dead end. Interesting. Let's go into the guidebook now for its meaning. Okay. Contrary to what the name implies, the dead end is very much alive. It is a force that stops us from moving forward as planned. It is thick, dense, unpromising, a wall beyond all walls. With every bramble, thorn, and stone, it simply states, "No more, child. You have reached the last page of this chapter." It is natural to resist its very resistance and struggle even harder to make our way, to prove our point, to hold on to what was. In this way, we fight with life itself. From a mythic perspective, the end you face is very much a beginning. There are doors opening all around you, just not the ones you planned on walking through. If you are honest and courageous enough to accept, adjust, and adapt, the dead end becomes known as life's beginning. Reflect on dead ends in your past that led to unimaginable wonders. The moment you accept the ending, a feeling of grace will arise. Doors begin to open both inside you and in the world. Note that in most stories and movies, the moment the protagonist reaches the dead end, something riveting happens. You are the protagonist. Other names for the dead end are the closed door, the final chapter, the impasse. Here it is. Really nice. So I feel like what this is what the Knight of Pentacles was trying to tell us was this energy of a wall beyond a wall, the thick, dense, uncompromising wall, which is telling you, no more, child. You have reached the last page of this chapter. You're slowing down, you've hit a plateau, and it's time to do things differently rather than resist this resistance, right? Rather than trying to prove your point and fight with life itself, it's time to see that this is a beginning of something else. A beginning of a healed inner child that will take you to all that you're deserving of. So work with your inner child to let go of scarcity, to let go of false beliefs of undeservingness in order to recognize your worth, to retrieve the shadow, see it, hear it, validate it, until we restore vitality, prosperity, abundance, and innocence and purity. And now I will pick a card from the Moonology deck, Group 3. Group 3. What's this card again? You are good enough. How fitting is that? This is full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. And to close off this reading, I'm also going to read you a poem from the Fortunate Poetry book. You have the Magician. Ponder into your tool belt and pull out a few things. Trust in yourself and a love that knows no limits. Your ideas and thoughts permeate reality. They sprinkle themselves into mortality. They manifest their sequences through spirituality. This is your power as a human being. You bring in your actuality. Keep your intentions in line and you'll be just fine. There's your poem. Alright, so that's the end of your reading, Group 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below how the reading went for you. And I would love to hear from you. Sending you so much love, healing, and light. And I will talk to you very soon.